Quarter to review questions 14 through 21. You're going to be solving these equations. Remember, to solve an equation, you use the inverse or the opposite operation. The inverse to squaring a number is the square root. So if it says x squared, you will take the square root. The inverse of cubing a number is the cube root. So if it says x cubed, you'll take the cube root. Now, some of these, the answers will come out to be rational answers, and you'll have one step as your answer. But some of them will be an irrational answer, and therefore we will need to round. And if we round, we're going to round to the nearest hundredths. Before we get started, though, I want you to know a few things. Okay, first of all, if you are taking the square root, so in other words, you're going to end up taking the square root, then you will have to have the plus and minus, positive and negative in front of your answer. So there are 4 problems where you have to have this in front of your number. Remember, we say -5, not 5 negative. So that sign should be in front of the number, to the left of the number. So again, remember, if it's a square root, all real positive numbers have 2 square roots, a positive number and a negative number. For instance, the square root of 4 is both positive 4 and negative 4. Sorry. The square root of 4 is both positive 2 and negative 2. So the square root of 4 has an answer of positive and negative 2, or otherwise said plus or minus 2. So there are 4 answers that will have this in front of it. Okay? There are 4 answers that when you put it in your calculator, you will get a rational answer. And if that's the case, all you need is an equal sign. So you'll have the variable, you have the equal sign, and you'll have the number. But there are 4 other answers where you'll get an irrational number. When you get an irrational number, the first thing you need to have is the ellipse with the equal sign, and then you'll round the answer to the hundredths. So again, you'll have this ellipse with the equal sign, and then you'll round it and have the approximate sign. Okay, so let's start with 14. X squared equals 0.49. I know I already put my square root signs on it. I kind of worked ahead. Since it's x squared, I take the square root of both sides. So please make sure you put the root sign on both sides. I'm going to need my calculator to do this. All right, so the square root of 0.49 is 0.7. That is a rational answer. 0.7 is a rational answer. So over here, I'm going to put x equals, and because it's a square, I need positive and negative in front of it, and then 0.7. And that's it. That's all I have to do for this problem. Try that again. That's all I have to do. I am going to cancel out my square and my square root, but that is it for number 14. So that is a rational answer. For 15, I'm going to take the square root of 999. So square root 999, hit enter. So this is one where we're going to have to round. See how it gives me that big long number? First of all, I'm going to cancel my square and my square root. Then it's a positive and negative 31.6069, and then you have the ellipse equals y. All right. I have to round this answer. It says to round it to the nearest hundredths, which is 2 decimal places. So that 6 will make the 0. It'll push the 0 1. So my final answer here is positive or negative 31.61 is approximately y. So the 6 made the 0 become a 1. I have the positive and negative because it's a square root. And up here, I've got the ellipse with the equal. Down here, I have the approximate sign. All right, one more. Number 16. Now, notice that's a cube, It's not a square, that's a cube, so I have to take the cube root. If you're using the school's calculator or a calculator like the school's calculator, remember to do the cube root, you have to press 3, the caret button, and then sorry, let me say that again. If you're taking the cube root on the calculator from school, you press 3 second and then the caret button. Again, 3 second caret, and then watch as that 3 gets smaller. So it's a cube root. And then you'd put the number in and hit enter. If you're using the iPad calculator here, you simply go to the cube root button, and I'm going to put in -400. All right, so I'm going to cancel my cube and my cube root. Bring down the z equals -7.3680. Put the ellipse. And now, because this is an irrational number, I have to round it to the nearest hundreds. So z is approximately -7.3, and then you're going to decide. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You're going to decide, does the 8 push that to a 7, or does it keep it as a 6? Does the 8 push it to a 7 or keep it as a 6? So you're going to have to fill in this number here. Move it over a little bit. Okay? So again, your answer will either be z is approximately -7.36 or z is approximately -7.37. Okay, and that is how you do questions 14 through 21. Please be very careful. It's so easy to lose points here because you might forget the positive or negative, or you might not round correctly, or you might forget the ellipse. Okay, please make sure that you're very careful in these problems. And remember, if the variable starts on the right, it stays on the right. If the variable starts on the left, it stays on the left. If you have any questions, or if you want me to pre-check 14 through 21 before you officially submit it, just let me know.